Whichever way y'all want to do your
No,
career,
don't do that. Don't
he
do
not in
that.
the NBA. He good. It's only NBA players.
I don't care. NBA, you forgot what happened in the NFL with Reggie Bush. Remember,
They
he
didn't win
dated
that
her.
Super Bowl.
He
They
dated
lost that
Kim
Super Bowl,
Kardashian.
right?
The year after that, that was it for him.
But they won that Super Bowl, right?
No, that was after.
Oh yeah, and then he found a lookalike. You
There
right.
you go.
You right.
There you
So
go.
speaking of that, speaking of people just running it back, just running it back. Daniel Snyder. Hey, for my Commanders fans, look, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Look, we thought the sale was gonna happen. You all thought the sale was done, but Dan is back.
It
Dan,
seems. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll say Dan came back. Oh no, I'm gonna just introduce this on you though. Dan came back with the serious legal charges related to John Gruden. So they're saying that he didn't leak these. Someone from the league did. So now it's like they say, hold up, before we make that sale, we got to make sure that the NFL wasn't the people that did this to Dan, and Dan was the person that did this to the NFL. We know you leaked that photo of Jerry Jones though, but we're not saying he did the other stuff, but we know you did that one. Dave, what's your take on this?
Hey, Commanders fans, I'm sorry, but it looks like you might have Dan for a whole nother season. he got he got his house on sale for you, but I don't know. It don't look like he ain't going nowhere without a fight. He ain't going nowhere without a fight. So what's gonna happen? He those emails, those emails are out there, and the NFL is doing whatever they can to not release these emails. And remember, with Daniel Snyder, when they was talking about making him sell a team last year, he was like, he ain't going out without a fight. He going out and he not going out without somebody going down with him. It looked like he's trying to bring the whole NFL down with him.
Hey, he definitely turned into Denzel from Training Day.
And you look, and Tomo said, you saw what he did to Jerry Jones. He leaked that photo. He said, "Hey, look, you know what? Go ahead and throw that out there for y'all. Put it out there in the Washington Post. I mean, it's only one team that's in the DMV area, other than the Baltimore Ravens, but they don't consider Baltimore the DMV, so we're not really gonna count that. But
No sniglet to you on out, iggly to you, Demi.
the Commanders doing whatever they can to try to get this team sold, and Daniel like, nah, nope, not that easy, not that easy. And it's already, and then there was a lawsuit that was, it got later dropped, but there was a lawsuit from the other guy who's from the Washington area. He was a black guy. I can't remember his name, but a black guy that tried to also did his best to buy the Commanders, and his deal was a lot more than the offer that was given,
Hmm.
but it was given to the other guy. So Daniel Snyder just like, look, man, I'm being forced to sell my team, but if y'all not gonna release those emails and show everything that's out there, because we saw John Gruden got fired. He had to do what he had to do to get out. They released that email, saw what he put out there, and that's he lost his job. Now they're trying to do the same thing to Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder like, nah, there's other stuff in there that y'all don't want to show, because Supreme Court asked y'all to release the emails, and y'all saying no. So clearly you hiding something.
Hmm.
So Snyder like, look, I'm not selling my team until y'all release those emails.
This good old boys club of the NFL is it's starting to find out that we're in the 21st century and we're actually taking off. You can see that with Twitter and what Elon Musk is attempting to do every time he makes some changes to Twitter. Another social media platform is showing up. So see how we got Twitter, now we got Threads. Now, if you look at the once were team in Washington, who is now the Commanders, it seems like this whole network is starting to crumble, because it really started all with that email from the Raiders. I think he was the owner or the GM. Was it the owner? I think it was the owner that got ousted first. Then they fired the GM. Then they made John Gruden the poster boy of all of this so they can keep it on the hush. And now they pulled Dan Snyder in, and they was like, well, remember what they was doing in Washington, what they was doing with the season ticket holders, and everyone's talking about that. And then Dan came out and said, well, if y'all gonna talk about me, then what about Robert Kraft when he went down there and got his massages?
There you go.
But
There you go.
See the conspiracy theories and things that happen in the NFL. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I want our show to keep being monetized. But it's just funny that the Robert Kraft situation happened, and then Watson situation came out too, and they ran down on Watson. But I'm not gonna say too much. Now with this,
Mm-hmm.
Dan trying to spin the block and say, "Look, I told you I didn't leak these. Someone else did it. However, what I said in these emails was not right. They should have never went out. But what I said in here was not right. But I didn't leak these. The NFL wanted me out for almost 5 years. They wanted me to sell my team. I told them I'm not selling the team. And because it's a private company, because the NFL is privately owned, you can do whatever they want. They can try to vote you out, but it's not like the NBA where they all can come together. Because clearly, if they wanted to,
They
this
would
did. The only person that had his back and switched up on him, he dropped a photo and you see what happened with Jerry. I ain't seen Jerry in the news since. Jerry ain't said nothing negative about anything since.
no. Jerry been chilling. This the first time. Jerry be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna just be quiet. I ain't saying nothing. That's because they know what's in those emails. That's why they
Man,
don't want it to be released. They know what's in the email. Just like, and I know you said you didn't want to say it. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but you brought up the Deshaun Watson situation.
mm-hmm.
Now we're in the chats, so we've seen documents that prove that Deshaun Watson is not 100% guilty.
Facts.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say guilt. No, I'm not going to say he's not guilty or that he is guilty. He's not 100% guilty. We've seen that there's something in there where people are really only in it for the money. Now there are some situations that still might be true, but we've seen at least four where it was like, nah. So there's some questions going around there, and they didn't release that because they have to do whatever they can to protect the shield.
Facts.
And we all know that's what the NFL does. One thing is that and then you got players now going against the shield because they're, got players get suspended for gambling when there are coaches and GMs and
Refs.
referees that are out there gambling all the time, whether it's on NFL facilities or not. But players can't do it, but they can. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. And my question is too, because with all the reports that's coming out and just how this is like taking over the media cycle in the Washington area is so let's say the NFL did leak these. Now what? Does Dan get to keep his team? And if he gets to keep his team, what type of repercussions will that come with? Because it's like he won. He kind of beat the NFL, and you know what happens when certain people beat the government. You kind of got to go to Arkansas after that. But that's a good question. I want to see how this plays out because if Dan wins this, whew,
I feel bad for you Commanders fans because it's gonna be some more seasons of losing if he stays. So I was feeling good for you. Like, you got Eric Bieniemy in the door. Seems like you got some things going, but Daniel Snyder just not going away yet. So we'll see what happens.
my message to
We'll
the
see what
Commanders
happens.
fans:
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
you got one more level, man. One more level. We thought y'all was gonna go into the training camp. We gonna be talking about EB, but nope. We gotta talk about Dan Snyder once again.
Mm, 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 mm.
He know.
J-Mo says, shout out to Lil Rock.
See, he know. But
Mhm.
look, we're gonna wait till Joe come back because I want to see what Joe got to say. That I want to hear from the Commanders fans actually about this because again, we seen the episodes where he was on here saying I ain't never had nobody show me on the things that you done showed me. So that's what the NFL said about them emails, Joe. But let's get into this quick news right quick. So yesterday, we're on here having a great debate. One of the most talked about debates. I think our kids will probably be having this debate, but it won't be as drawn out as ours is. They probably like, who's the GOAT? They probably say Paul George, Brandon Miller. But we were on here arguing about the GOAT, and the ESPYs was on. And LeBron decided to say, you know what? I got something for you, refuse to lose. I'm gonna sprinkle in some more news for y'all. And he comes back and says, look, I'm gonna come back for my 21st season. And this is his quote: "The day I can't give the game everything I have on the floor, is the day I'll be done. And lucky for you guys, that's not today." And the crowd goes crazy. LeBron's back. LeBron's back. AD was upset. but but Dave, how you feeling about this, man? 21 years in the NBA. LeBron's back.
Did we really believe